Welcome YouTube to my review of the RHA T10i in-ear monitor headphones. Let's discuss how they would show up at your door. So the box has, a clear cellophane window for you to be able to see in if you were purchasing these at the Apple Store. But once you get inside, it has a nicely appointed foam padding. The in-ear monitor headphones. 2 additional filters, one for bass and one for treble, and they are actually color coded. Black for bass and the copper gold, rose gold color for treble, and then the silver is the reference filter. And to change them, all you simply have to do is unscrew the filter, and it has a nice little O-ring on it to help seal, and then you just unscrew from the plate, and this plate I believe is also made out of stainless steel. Now you screw these in like so, not too tight because you don't want to pinch down this O-ring too much. It's just simply to ensure for a good seal, and then replace the ear tip. Now the housings themselves are made out of injection molded stainless steel, and they have like a casting mark, and it's not a big deal. It's very nicely polished down and it's very high quality. The let's see if I can get the camera to focus on the cable. It looks like it's going to. So on this cable there are a bunch of little peaks and valleys, and it's just like any other flexible, bendable metal cable. It actually will retain whatever shape you want to put it in. And the nice thing is, typically with something like this, you would have a problem where when you went to put it over your ear, these little metal valleys could pinch. But RHA coated this with a silicone tubing, or maybe they're just some sort of, it feels like silicone. I was thinking it might be latex, but with everyone's latex allergies, it's probably highly unlikely. It has a nice little cable relief that goes from the metal to the actual cable. The cable has an inline 3-button microphone for iPhone and Android users. Obviously, if you don't have an iPhone, you won't get the full capabilities, but nonetheless. Then it has, the cable tie to slide up and slide down. Another stainless steel transition piece that is signed by somebody at RHA. And then you have the 3.5mm plug that has a nice spring-loaded, this is probably a stainless steel spring, cable relief for, if you put it in your pocket to give this cord a little bit more durability. So overall build quality of these headphones is superb. They're nicely polished. They're not chrome. It's more of just a polished look. It's not mirror polished, but it's very nice. The headphones also come with 8 sets of silicone tips and 2 sets of foam tips. Now the silicone tips are definitely, like a medical grade silicone. The foam tips, unfortunately, I normally prefer foam tips, and these leave a lot to be desired, unfortunately. They have, like most foam tips, you can kind of form into something and then stick it in your ear really quick, and then it'll slowly expand and fill your ear and create a good seal. Unfortunately, these are not that style, like memory foam or comply foam, or they just instantaneously regain their shape. The foam could be better, but you could always buy your own foam ear tips later. So it's not really that big of an issue. But I would have liked to see, with the rest of the quality of everything, a little bit more quality of an earpiece for the foam. Now, as far as fitting in your ear canal, this is pretty much, as they sit in this case, it's pretty much what they look like inside your ear. This wraps over the back of your ear, obviously, and makes it so that they're a little bit more stable and they don't put as much strain on your ear when you're walking and whatnot. They're very, very comfortable to wear. There's no real fatigue from this metal pressing on any part of your ear. There is a bit of fatigue with the foam tips inside your ear canal, which is unfortunate. But my favorites to use with these were the silicone tips, but I got the best sound quality from the foam tips. Now these, let's get into sound discussion. These use a sound isolation method, which is the exact same principle as earplugs that you would use at a gun range. It just basically creates a barrier from the outside coming into your ear canal. Now, the other alternative is noise cancellation, which Bose uses. The unfortunate thing is that noise cancellation uses a microphone that records external sounds and then plays the inverse sound wave of that sound into the music to create a cancellation effect. Now, with constant sounds like airplane engines or bus motors or whatnot, that's not an issue because the sound is constant and the microphone can continually record the same sound and play the inverse sound wave very effectively, and you'll notice no noticeable difference to your music quality. Where that gets a little bit worse is when let's say you're at a bus station or inside of an airport and there's a lot of people talking and there's soda machines and all kinds of noises going on. It's hard for that microphone to pick up everything and then at the exact same time that it picks it up, play that sound wave before your ear hits it with your music. So what happens is you get all this additional sound that kind of colors your music. Now, it might not be that noticeable, but for me, I would much rather something solid that blocks out sound than adds to the volume of sound that is already going into my ear. So, to me, this just seems more true to the sound, the source that you're listening to. It doesn't add any additional volume into your music, and it just makes for a much nicer experience in total. But that's just my personal opinion. I know a lot of people love the Bose headsets that do the noise cancellation, and every time I fly I see tons of people have them on their heads and are quite enjoying it. But for me, I would prefer sound isolation methods that reduce outside noise by dampening. So now that we've discussed isolation versus noise cancellation, let's get down to seeing how these sound. At their price point, they do not compete, unfortunately. These retail for $200, and you would think that they would sound very, very good at that price point. Unfortunately, they sound okay, but they do not sound like a $200 set of headphones. Now, if you look inside the case, when I got these, I was very excited, because if you look at this frequency response graph, it looks marvelous. And if you look at those figures, they look great. They look amazing for a portable set of in-ear monitors. And they just don't deliver. My problem with these is the mids sound incredibly muffled and recessed. And I'm not one for just only listening to the instrumentals of a track. And this is basically what it delivers. Now, I tried all three filters. Now, with the bass filter, all the bass filter seemed to do was kind of mute the treble, and vice versa. The treble just seemed to mute the bass. So my best experience was using the reference set of headphones. Now, my personal preference is a warmer sound. I like, I'm not a total bass head, but I like a strong bass note for my music to rely on. And these, they don't really deliver, they don't do anything well. They don't have outstanding treble, they don't have clear, crisp bass, and the mids where, you know, most of your sound is coming from, they don't have that either. They just have mediocrity. So unfortunately for this price point, as good as the build quality of these are, they have a 3-year warranty, and as unique as the filter system is, I just can't recommend anyone go and spend $200 on these. If the inline mic is not something that is something you're interested in, I would say go with the Shure 215s. The sound quality from those is much better, and their price point is, I believe, almost $100 less. So, with that being said, as nice as this setup is built, I can't recommend, because you're not going to rub these all day long and be like, oh, the stainless steel is so nice and the silicone is so soft and supple. You're going to listen to them. You're going to just put them in your ear and you're just going to listen to them. And that is the worst thing that these do. Now, I'm going to be doing a review of the T10i's, and they are the direct competitor for this, because as of this review, when I was looking on Amazon, these sold for $250 and the T10i's sold for $240. Now, I don't know why the $50 price increase on Amazon, but from what's printed on the back of this package, but who knows? I'm going to say that these can still be had for $200, but I'll link it in the description. And I'll also be doing a review of the T20s, and I'll do a comparison video to highlight the differences between the 20s and the 10s. But thanks for watching, and if you like this video, please feel free to give me a thumbs up and subscribe for more future reviews on more tech and audio and